Yo, bartender.
Bar's closed.
Hey, yo, bartender, what's good, man? Let me get a drink, man. Let me get a shot.
Hey, man, I know you just put up to the bar, but we closed.
Come on, man. You gotta be able to give me a shot, man. Come on.
You look like you need a drink, man, but I hate to tell you this, man. We about to close.
So you mean to tell me all these people out here, they got drinks and they got shots, but I can't get nothing. The bar closed that soon?
Okay, man, I don't know what else to say. I got this shorty half my age at the crib, and I'm trying to get to it. But last call was 10 minutes ago.
You know what? It's all right. Don't even worry about it. Don't worry about it.
All right. Tell you what, I'm gonna get you one drink, because it look like you need
one drink. I can do one drink. I can do one drink, because I really, yeah.
Hey, man, anything, man. Look like you got a lot on your mind and you need a friend right now. Pour it on me. Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome to Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome.
One of the things I'm going to brought to you by is Go Green. Go Green is a garbage company been doing great things in the area. And again, we cover Halden, Hiram, Marietta, Atlanta. We even go up to Duluth. I'm sorry, we're small, so I can't go all over. And I know a lot of people will be hitting me up because they know I was up in Tennessee. No, we don't go that far. But right here in Metro Atlanta, we're doing great things. All you got to do is look up our website or you can give me a call. And again, my number is quite public. You can find me in and everywhere.
Yes.
And I can tell you more about Go Green. Now, I got to get back with this guy that's been rocking with me going on now 8 years. He come in this bad boy each and every time with a smile. Craftmatic, how you doing tonight, big baby?
Doing good, Smooth Jay.
Ooh, wait, man. I mean,
Chilling, man. Chilling.
You know,
chilling. Reminded, really. You know what I'm saying? It's work time,
the
man.
women keep asking me, is it true that he come in there each and every time I'm just boasting? And I really got to tell him, no. This is him off the show whenever we meet. This man greets me with a smile, no matter where we meet.
Yeah.
And they just didn't know it was true. They thought I was just hamming you up, just to get the women to recognize. I don't never have to get a woman to recognize a good man. A woman should recognize that on her own. You don't know what your father did for you, then you'll never know what we can do for you. I'm just trying to say, if he's a good man, you should know it.
We're throwing darts tonight, boy. My goodness.
Just trying to say, man.
Yeah, man. So I'm doing good, man. Life is, got a hold of me and I got a hold of life.
Okay.
And working hard, seeing a few joyful days
Okay.
and just enjoying the presence of the Lord. How are you doing, Smooth Jay?
I'm going to tell you, with the presence of the Lord, it makes my day brighter each and every time. And a lot of times, I've always said, I want to have what he has for me. Well, understanding he's in me makes me realize that I need to let go of some of the things that I want.
Yes.
So you got to know his word, though.
That's deep.
And you got to start working in his word, not your thoughts.
That's right.
And a lot of times you be like, well, where I align my thoughts to, what he written for you.
You know what, Jay? What's coming to my mind, man, is you really haven't overcome life until you realize that your life is not yours anymore.
Oh, I don't think everybody would understand that.
That's
in a powerful way of what I just heard.
Yeah, that is something to you have arrived when you realize that this life does not belong to you.
Mm.
You have work to do. There are things to accomplish, and it is not for your edification. It is for the edification of God. He put you here for something, and when you learn that you need to be getting this done, and in fact, if you don't get it done, you just might perish.
Woo, woo. Without getting it completed.
Yeah, without getting it completed,
Man,
you might perish. Yeah, you're perishing because you're not even working on it.
come on.
But see, if you work on it, then he'll anoint you. But if you don't work on it, you're pretty much dead in the water. Because at a certain place in life, and I experienced this, Jay.
What's that?
I said to myself, I don't need no more education.
Mm.
Not no more formal education.
Okay.
We're always growing in life, right?
Right.
But what I need to do is apply the education that God has already gave to me.
Mm-hmm.
And God kind of backed me up and said, yep, I done taught you a lot. There's a lot of good that you got in you, and you're not doing anything with it. And if you don't get busy, I'm gonna press down on you. I mean, why should I? Think about what God would say. Why should I keep giving you my sustainable energy and power, and you ain't doing nothing with it?
It only makes right. I mean,
why should I keep paying attention to you, and you ain't doing what I brought you here to do? In fact, you are You just might be more in the way than you are making a way.
It sounds like you're about to be benched.
Well, that's what the Lord will do. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, the Lord will bench you. If you ever find yourself benched in life, you probably should ask yourself, what haven't I been doing that I should be doing, right? A great way to introduce our show.
Yes.
This is Bar Talk with Jay. My name's Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay.
In the building.
And we are here to liberate your minds and souls with a great dialogue. We're just going to chop it up on the subject. We just want to dance in the midst of a discussion. And what we find is that growth takes place every single time. And it's been one of probably the cornerstone of my growing years over the last several years we've been together, because I never knew how much healing and how much understanding you could gain from just having a conversation. It ain't about right, wrong, or otherwise. It's about being able to hear a new idea, express your own ideas, etc. And so we like to think that this place is a therapeutic place to be. As you hear the discussion, I want you to grow. I want you to find some nuggets that make sense for your life. I want you to really change. By the end of this show, I want you to have made some clear-cut, powerful decisions for your own life about how you're going to do something different, be a different person, make something better happen, get more excited about life. I want you to find some gravy in this show. That's what it's about. And so we thank you for being here tonight. Of course, we always start the show off with a prayer.
No doubt.
And I think I'm going to pray over the subject tonight.
Okay, get it to it.
Which, by the way, is what's the disconnect in relationships today?
Okay, all righty.
What is the disconnect in relationships today? We know there are a lot of them.
Oh, yes.
And we want to cover them so that, you can be ready for your next relationship. You can discover some things that's going to help you be a better husband or wife, a better friend, a better partner, a better spouse, etc. And so let's hand it over to the Lord, shall we?
Yes, we shall.
Heavenly Father, we thank you tonight for just being here. We thank you for your presence with us. We thank you for all that you are in our life. Just your presence makes all the difference. We ask, Heavenly Father, that you would come here tonight and that you would help us to understand the disconnect in relationships. That somehow, Lord, our relationships are breaking down. We can see, Lord, clearly the family has broken down in society. And so we're asking, what is keeping us from being together? What is holding people back from being together? What is the disconnect, Lord? Help us grow in our understanding and the wisdom of it, and give us inspiration to overcome these hurdles, Lord, so that we can move on to our greatest love. We're all seeking love. We're all seeking light. We're all seeking companionship. We're all seeking fulfillment with another person. Help us to overcome those hurdles that might happen in the midst of trying to love and to trust and to be a part of another person's life. Give us that wisdom tonight, Lord. Be here with us in this show to do your good and your perfect work. And in Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. Woo. All right.
Woo. Listen, Jay, in the middle of the prayer,
What was you feeling?
I found myself longing for love. And I'm not beating myself up in the middle of the prayer, but I'm challenging myself to, okay, Stacy, you're going to have to do something different because what you've done hasn't worked.
Right.
So you need to open up your spirit and take some of this knowledge in that we're about to talk about tonight.
All right.
And ask the Lord to help you either repent or to help you, get a new idea or to help change you.
Yes.
I know right now, and this is profound, right? I know right now that I need to change in order to be right and ready for Mrs. Right.
Goodness. Y'all ladies hearing this?
You see, part of the disconnect is that we're not willing to be different than we were in our failed relationships, our failing relationships, right?
Oh, yeah.
See, we've gone through 2, 3, 4, maybe a dozen relationships in our life, and the common denominator is us. Right?
Oh, you talking now.
So how do I get myself out of the way toward having a great relationship with another woman? And even not just another woman, but maybe another business partner, maybe another friend, maybe my neighbor, maybe, any number of areas of my life there's something that I need to do better. And I'm asking the Lord to grant me that wisdom and understanding. And I'm also asking him, and I didn't need to say this, but I'm also asking him to move my feet. Sometimes we know what to do, but we don't do it. And so I'm asking the Lord not only to tell me what I need to do, but put it in my heart so that my feet begin to move. I begin to operate upon this new wisdom. I begin to operate upon this new knowledge and understanding. I'm reaching to re-engineer myself because I know that the old engineering won't satisfy the relationship that I want to have. So now I have to become a different person. Right?
The best you.
The best me. And if I'm not the very best me, it's impossible for me to be to fill that gap in someone else's life. Because what they're looking for and what they're expecting is the best other person. I'm looking for the best of the person that I attract. I don't want 50% of the person that I attract. I want 100%. And of course, it's impossible for me to maintain 100% if I'm not 100%. Right? What is the disconnect in relationships today, Jay?
I like it how you just brought it because I like to say that opened up a lot of things in my thoughts in my head.
Yeah.
And one of those unrealistic goals. Ooh. You want something from what you've seen compared to what you're willing to work for. And it makes it very difficult from a person coming from where I'm coming from. I don't come from unrealistic goals. I set them as I can achieve them. So now you got these higher goals than what you can do, but you expect me to meet all your criteria. So it's not even about coming to the table with anything. You coming with some unrealistic goals.
That ain't gonna work.
And that's not. So when we get through conversation and we start making plans to be together, I'm starting to realize these plans are unrealistic. And now it's become more of an argument because, again, most people want to argue with you than change with you. Okay? I don't want to conform to you. I don't want to follow you. I mean, listen, I do want to follow the Lord. And I'm not going to have you making me follow you and you don't know where the hell you're going. It's like, again, the navigational. I'm going off of navigational things that I learned and things that's prepared for me and where I want to go. And if you understand that journey, then we can ride together. Right. Everybody ain't going to be for you. And that's the hardest thing is realizing that some people cannot see your journey. Some people can't see your work. And I really feel like it's our job to put that in front of everybody because when I go back to Boaz, and I understand what he was looking for. One of the things before he even looked for Ruth, he understood himself. And you got to have power within you to know what you are before you really go looking. And a lot of times we're unprepared when it comes to relationships. Right. We go into them with lust. We go into them with thought. We go into with the vision what somebody else gave us. And then when you run across somebody and you start getting lost in them or they get lost in you, but the bottom line is more like betrayal because it's always should start off with, again, respect and loyalty. Right. But looks can lead more to lust than the other two that we was just talking about. But if anybody know about real love, them two is a huge component. And that's what easily make you fall into it. Now, again, everybody want to throw sex into it in these days, but we can play with it a little bit differently. Let's go away from that and see if we can build before that. And a lot of times people feel like, nah, I need to know what I'm dealing with. Okay, sexual component is deeply rooted in relationship. But before I get there, can I know you mentally? Before I stimulate you sexually. Right. Now, again, I can blow your mind by talking to you and getting in your head. Okay, I can understand why somebody might want to drop their drawers. Good. That's great. But can I talk to you in a way that after you do this, we have something and you'll feel like something? So a one-night stand won't ever feel like a one-night stand because you'll never feel like I'll be away from you. And then we're going to add to each other and we're going to feel for each other because of the fact of respect we have for one another. Now, a one-night stand only means we just did it all in one. It just, believe it or not, I can talk for hours, right? And I'll talk to a person one day all the way to the next day. So the date happened that night, right? But that person thought they knew me so well, they was comfortable, that they didn't have their guard up. And they said that they never done that before. They always have a guard up. Well, my whole thing is you have a guard up because you have a fear of what used to happen. I'm not a fear factor. I'm not out to hurt you. I'm not out to gain a lot from you. I want to know you. Now, again, everybody's heart ain't pure, and most people that know how to throw game and be with everybody say the same thing. I'm not asking y'all to use this to get over. I'm asking y'all to open up to be real. Because if you can't be real with yourself, All you doing is betraying somebody else to be with somebody that you really don't know either, to add more things to your belt than you need to be weighing. These are spirits. These are probably good people. And all you're doing is weighing yourself down. And then you have an obligation to me, because now you got that spirit around your waist and you're holding it. And then you're comparing everybody else to a lot of things that you never had right.
Yeah.
So now it's kind of hard for you to shift to be that great person when you use that using person. So now everybody looking at you is just a person that's out there, a guarding tool. We're going to try to keep it clean as much as possible without using the words of profanity that everybody else want to call you. My whole thing is you can change and they'll never see the change in you because them people ain't for you.
Yeah.
And that's what makes you want to change for the better.
Yeah.
And that's the more realistic that I don't really see. But I've met some people that went through counseling. I met some people that actually evaluated their relationships. They took time to heal. Okay. And these things are good. All right. But most people don't take time to make sure the other person has went through the same thing or is kind of lining up, because everybody's is not going to line up exactly the same. The equally yoke is hard without communication. You won't know where that person is exactly at until you sit down and really talk. But now it's going out to expensive dinner. You know, they laughing at the coffee shops. It gotta be a 5-star restaurant. Now you got more unrealistic goals when it comes to understanding the person compared to a want. I want to feel special and treated like a queen, a princess. All right, that's fine if we want to be treated this way, but can I know you?
Right.
But you just want me to pay out. Can I know you? Because the pain might happen.
Well, so we hear the pain of dating in your dialogue, right?
I mean, it ain't gonna be all, because I'm gonna say
there's
been some good people out there, but we all know about the ones that unfortunately be on Instagram and feel like they entitled.
Yeah, there is pain in dating, and you should know that, right?
Yeah.
I think that is one of the great disconnects in relationships.
That's a fair one.
Is that you're going to meet somebody
Mm-hmm.
who you like 75% of them. And that doesn't mean they may not be the right person to be in your life, but you got to deal with that 25%. And the disconnect is to think that you can, just running away from that is the thing to do, right? Sometimes, if you meet somebody, if you're a good money manager and you meet somebody who's not a good money manager,
Mm-hmm.
they just might need your coaching. They just might need your direction. They just might need your help, your love, and support.
Okay.
Don't say, hey, you broke and you got bad credit, and then you look at their potential and see they got a great gift. They could probably make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year,
Right.
But they ain't got no direction, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, part of the disconnect is that, hey, we judge people early, and sometimes we judge those little things away from us, and even though they may be discomforting, they may not be all bad. You got to get in. You got to see. Part of that disconnect is, again, people just don't understand the work and the effort and the tenacity that goes into having a relationship. A relationship is not just all, popcorn and cotton candy. And that's the fallacy in a lot of our minds, even my mind, even your mind. The fallacy is that they're easy. I'm going to meet somebody and we're going to vibe and we're going to be having a good time and we're going to live happily ever after.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I believe like is basic. You can like anybody.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I totally agree with you on that. It got to be a lot more. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It has to be.
Yeah.
And the voice came from Boogie. He's sitting behind the scenes, just in case everybody wonder where it came from. He ain't a ghost. He's in the house.
Yeah, he's behind the camera, and he's been running the camera for years now. So we want to hear his input because he always has such dynamic input. We appreciate it. Keep coming, Boo. One of the things you said, Jay, and you started out with this unrealistic goals, and let me just name off 4 or 5, half a dozen things underneath unrealistic goals.
I got you.
Right? You have incongruent goals.
Mm-hmm.
You think big and they think small. You're incongruent. Now, it doesn't mean you can't come together. It doesn't mean that you can't find some congruency in the goals, some unity in the goals. But the disconnect oftentimes is that we're going 2 different directions.
And let's point out how that could look. I'm riding around in a nice vehicle and she's not. But because we're dating, she feel like I should be riding around in a nice vehicle. And in my mind, you have to graduate to that. Okay? And you shouldn't expect me to put you in something nice and you can't sustain it. And that's where I call that unrealistic, because it's automatically feeling like an entitlement because I'm with you. I should get this. And my whole thing is everything is to be earned. And as we earn it, we grow from it. You just don't get it because of all my hardness of what I went through. My whole thing is as I go through it, I am to uplift you to make us a dynamic team, not just you two look a certain way. What?
You just opened a can of worms with
would
that shit you said right there. Boy.
You know what I like.
Boy, I want everybody to hear what he just was talking about. This is incredible. This is incredible, especially in this dialogue. I'm going to try to bring it right here, right? So Jay suggested that we meet, and I'm kind of balling. I'm driving the hottest whip. I got a nice crib, and you don't.
Right.
And so I don't know what the time frame is that happens here, but there seems to, at some point, become some entitlement. Hey, I worked hard for this, so I'm balling, and isn't the person balling if he is in a relationship, maybe even love the person that he's with? Shouldn't he allow her to ball too? I mean, she should be able to get that. That should be a part of the entitlement of being with you. That, hey, you ain't gonna bring her all the way to the tippy top, but you're gonna help her come up too, right? So now what we're talking about is we're talking about people who come together in relationships, and what's mine is mine, and what's yours is mine. Right?
And again,
so that's a disconnect, especially when it comes to money.
It does, right? It really hits because to them, I don't got much anyway.
Right.
All right, I get that. And I was still willing to deal with you because I'm not pressed with your money. I understand how I can make money. But to me, it's the respect of my money. And I feel like you don't respect how I get it, or you don't even care for what I do. Now you're expecting without no work or no help. So to you, it's like I'm just dating you and I expect you just to do all this for me. And this was never communicated. And this is where people feel like they're not compatible.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, that there's a statute of limitation in that equation.
Okay.
Right? Because, it might be a few months to a few years, but she going to be like, well, I want a new car. I go to work, I work just as hard as you. Now, just because I don't make as much money as you don't mean I shouldn't share in the fruits of this home, what you make and what I make. So how about I want a new car?
That sounds like,
and I know I can't afford the payment, but
like
honey, will you buy me a new car?
Sound like a wife.
That sounds like a wife, right?
Right, but
and so
you play in a role that you don't have. But then you expect something.
But we talk about in a relationship. We talk about listen. Typically, and maybe I'm not right here, but typically there's gonna be a dating period, and it might last a few months to a few years. But then there's gonna be a place where y'all become connected financially, where there becomes responsibility with the money in terms of how each one will spend the money, whether it's your money or my money. When we come together, we're supposed to be one. So now, hey, I'm still working the same job I've been working for the last 10 years, and I really can't afford no car payment, but since you make all the money, would you buy mama a car? Okay. So, and is that entitlement, or is that no,
that's communication. And I won't say it's total. Yeah, I think that's communication, because my whole thing is in the conversation, if I had that, it would be like, okay, so what more can you afford? Because again, I'm aligning this because I know my budget.
Right.
And I already know what all I want to do because I achieved a lot of it. So now I need to get in your head and see what all you want to achieve. Because if it's something, we might have to start with a used vehicle and work our way up. And my whole thing is, I always believe in family, right? So I'm going to sit her down with you for she can find the best vehicle, for we can keep it in the family, for you can make sure she's safe. And she's going to get the best vehicle, and then we're going to work on whatever credit things we need to do. So she might not get what she wants on the first hand. But I need to see if she's willing to ride with me, because I promise you, most people automatically expect high. but they don't willing to put the work in.
Yeah.
So I need to know: are you really rolling with me, or are you just using the hell out of me?
And the question is profound because that's where the disconnect happens. The disconnect happens in either you a ride or die,
Mhm.
or you not with me. And you know, there will be some gray area in there, but each person is going to have to come to the decision of, okay, are you really on my team? I mean, she could be working just as many hours, just as hard as you, and just not making as much money because she doesn't have a degree, or she don't, and vice versa. He doesn't have a degree. He, you know, been a city worker for years, and you know, that you know, there has to be a place where the other person be like, okay, you really care about me. You really don't. Now, I met this is on/off the subject.
Right.
I met a woman this week.
Mhm.
Been married to her husband for, I don't know, 15 years.
Okay.
And they can't stand one another. And when she started talking about him, I just listen. I just kind of sit on the curb, you know, on the side of the road, just listen.
Right.
What is she saying about this man she's been with for 15 years? Because I want to see what wives say about their husband.
I'm trying to.
And she was like, he ain't no good. He always popping off at the mouth. He ain't never wrong. He always telling people what to do. He won't get up and take his ass to work and this and that. And listen, she going off, bro. I'm a stranger. Right? So I realized in the midst of the moment that she needed a place to vent. she needed a place to vent.
Right.
But watch this. At the exact same time that she telling me how much she can't stand him,
Right.
and how much they've been living in separate rooms for about 7 to 8 years, and et cetera, she is asking me. She's asking me to help her buy him a new $70,000 truck.
Oh yeah, Kraft is a car salesman. Y'all didn't catch that.
Yeah,
I don't want nobody to think that he's going to go in his pocket and cash it.
GMCs for a living, for a career, right?
So I just want to make sure everybody know that, because most people be like, you just want to pay out your
And-
pocket.
So this lady is absolutely destroying this man's character with her words, with me, who's a stranger.
But want to buy it.
And at the same time, she's about to buy him a $70,000 truck.
How you feel about it?
Well, it can't. It's almost like they have overcome the disconnect, right? She know he ain't shit, but she gonna take care of him. It's like she overcame the disconnect. Like that story summarizes our whole show, right? Like she was like, he ain't gonna never be able to buy himself nothing, so I'm gonna buy him the nicest stuff. Now, she said, well, she sat next to me inside the truck, and she said, I think he'll like this truck. I think he'll really like this truck. And in fact, I think he would probably do with lesser truck, but I want him to have a nice truck. So that's love, man. I don't care how much I can't stand you, and how much you get on my nerves, and how much I don't want to sleep with you no more. I still care about your ass, and I'm going to do all that I can do to love you. I'm going to do all that I can do to make sure you have a good life and a good truck. I would imagine, as much as she can't stand him, she probably still preparing his meals and maybe even washing his clothes, because they seem kind of old school with old school values. So she may be taking care of him upside down and can't stand him. But at the same time, all of that noise just may be her mental frustration. But so, you mess around and say something about him, she gonna get in your behind. You know what I'm saying? And so that's love, man. That's love.
It's love with the disconnect of loyalty. She should never have to put negative words to another person about a person. She could have just kept it about her.
But she just wanted to vent. She was telling me her true feelings.
I know, but correct. Let's just practice.
She was telling me I can't
stand
it.
Woman get Kraft will automatically know he's gonna make you open up, because he's that warm guy. So why would she do this? I already can understand why, because he's a comfort place where he don't judge. Now, most men will use the information to bounce on that person,
right?
Off the negativity which she was spitting. He was more just listening. So again, key nuggets to the men that want to feel like they're going to jump on somebody. Before you jump in with the negativity with that person, just hear them out and just understand it could just need them venting. That don't mean you use anything that she said, period. To me, at that point, you evaluate just her demeanor, and what's going on, because again, if this is a person you're gonna pursue, they could be saying the same damn thing about you.
Yeah, and I have on many occasions been sitting in with a date, a young date, first, second, third date,
Right.
and they're complaining about their ex, and I'm judging them, but they really just might need a place to vent.
Yeah.
And they may have already overcome it, but it's what's prevalent in their life. It's what's dominant in their life, and so they're talking to me about it, and I can't judge them away.
No.
Right? That would be a disconnect for me to judge them away just because somebody's talking to me. And it may just be that she's comfortable enough with me to share what she's sharing. Right? Now, she may be talking from a place of hurt, and I need to see if that hurt still lingers and if, if I'm willing to deal with what she's conveying to me. But sometimes we judge people out in that way. Let me just cover a couple other things here, Jay. Timing is very important in relationships. There just might be a place in life where you meet somebody and the time just ain't right. They could have been they could have been there, right?
Right.
But you were traveling a lot at that time, or you was involved in another relationship at that time, and one of the disconnects is timing, and not only it's just could be bad timing, but it also could be the other person hasn't had enough time to heal.
Ooh, now you hit me.
I know that she's a good woman,
Yes.
but she's still going through the fire right now.
And
she's just coming out of a divorce. She's been divorced 6 months, and
she was
fellas
way longer than that.
and even ladies, you need to know that 6 months is not enough to heal. And part of the healing process when two people come together, let's just say there's this man that comes into the company with this woman that he's hurting and he's been divorced 6 months. He's still hurting, but when she makes love to him, that it opens up those emotions that allow him to feel like he could love again. And so now he's entangled, and now he's still fighting with his past and desperate to keep his present moment and his future. And part of it is because the sex is so good, the loving is so good, it fulfills the weak part of him. It fills that space in him that makes him feel like he's not strong enough, or he can't get nobody else, or he ain't still got it no more, and all of that good stuff. And so you wind up getting entangled. And that entanglement is going to have a pivot point. It's going to have a fallout.
Right.
It's going to come to a place where the sex ain't enough. Because you're too hurt, you're too broken to love again.
I get that.
And so even though the sex is good, you still want to lean on me for things that I didn't do. Right? You still want to bring to me an attitude that I didn't create.
Right.
And so time for healing can be a great disconnect, and that's one of the things we have to look.
I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna have fun with you with that one because that happened to me. And again, I thought it was enough time, but see, I can't be the timekeeper when it comes to your heart. So this person spent
that's good, Jay.
a lot of time with you, years with you, and then you go through your divorce, and then you get your counseling, and you go through some things.
Right.
Please understand, counseling is a great thing, and I have nothing negative to say about it. They're giving you some tools, but please understand the world's still moving. So when you get back into the world, it never stopped. You just got new tools to navigate. Okay.
Well, it takes that.
And then those new
Stop and
tools,
readjust.
everybody is not accustomed to. So now you're putting on some things to a person that might not be used to the new you because you're trying to heal, okay? And you're using these new tools. So now I'm in a position of knowing you and also going through a lot of things with you.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to soothe you because, again, I want to be with you.
Right.
But I can't lose me.
There you go.
And that's the challenge to a lot of people. And again, don't look past the look. You got to get past the kids and understand the person, because you got to see if y'all healthy or you're not.
Yeah, and the kids, you gotta look through that window. A lot of people, the disconnect is that a lot of people aren't looking through the window.
Okay.
They just walk through the door. And it's a mistake to just walk through the door. Please take the time to look through the window. When you look through the window, you don't see the body. All you can see is the mind and the eyes. And that's where the truth lie, right? And somewhere as you look through that window, I know I'm being philosophical here, but as you look through the window and you see the mind and the eyes, that if your spirit doesn't tell you to open the door, don't open the door. Okay, because sometimes you bring spirits into your life and people into your life that just aren't for you. And if you get inspiration from God, you'll always know how to move forward. Here's a twist in the road, right?
Give me that twist.
What we're talking about tonight here is what's the disconnect in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, and I'm just looking at middle-aged women.
Okay.
I believe that there are many good middle-aged women. I believe there's a lot of good women in the world. Women who've been through a divorce. You now in your 40s, your late 30s, your 40s, your 50s. You don't have a relationship. You are a good woman. You take care of business. You take care of yourself. You bought homes. You bought cars. You're taking trips. You're running businesses. They're good women.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the disconnects is that where do you find these women? Right? Meeting good people is a major disconnect in relationships nowadays. It seems that I'm asking God. This is a rhetorical question. I'm asking God. God, is it hard to meet good people, or do I have good people all around me, and I'm just not doing the things that I need to be done to meet them? Right? One or two is happening. Either they're not there, or if they are there, I'm missing the mark. And so meeting good people is one of those things that if you are sitting on the sideline of life and you just finished a goal or a task and now you've got capacity to have someone into your life, and you say, hey, I want to start meeting people, what do you do? Where do you go? Now, there's the regular world of meeting people, out and about, and, your workout facilities, your library, your grocery stores, you know what I'm saying? It takes a little more guts and glory to meet people because you got to put yourself on front row. And then there's an electronic way of meeting people. And even the electronic way of meeting people creates major disconnects, right? Yes. Even like people can hide behind facades in that process. And now you got to do a whole lot of extra vetting to get to them. I would say it's easier to walk across the street and knock on your neighbor's door and say, hey, I don't know what it is, but I've been thinking about you. I see you from afar. You're a beautiful person. I'm wondering if maybe we can have a cup of coffee together. Let's just have a cup of coffee on the porch tomorrow night and talk. Are you game? And so, but it takes guts.
But that's really too close to you.
I was about to say it. Even if they live on the next block, they're going to ride by and see the car home at night. And if any other car in the driveway, right?
So that's where I said that could be a little bit too much, but I like the fact that you asked where you want to go and what to do.
Yeah.
I would like to say, and again, I'm going to give y'all this out of my old playbooks.
Okay.
Is things that I enjoy doing. If I like to go bowling, then I would look for people to go bowling. I would go to Facebook bowling groups, and I'll find out who's all doing what. Because because again, interest. Because that person's already got an interest in what I like.
Okay.
I like to play pool.
Yes.
Right. I like to play pool. So I would like to go on to maybe Facebook. We're just gonna use Facebook. I'm not saying that's the only place. You got Instagram, you got TikTok. Yeah, I just go sometimes, but don't go for just the dating. Go for the experience of what you enjoy. You like fishing, you like boating, you like playing pool. When you do that, you have somebody with a common interest, so it's easy to communicate with.
Yes.
Because you have something common.
Yes.
I like watching football and football season. On Saturday, I like college football. So if a person is into that, it's easier to communicate, go somewhere. Now we got a cigar lounge. We can go and watch the game. We got food places we can go. And the experience is a little bit easier because now we get into our game and it becomes a common back and forth rivalry between who you like, who I like. And then it becomes more intimate. Because
you ever known somebody who had you ever known a guy who had a lot of women in his life? Mm-hmm. Or you ever known a woman who had, a lot of men in her life or a lot of people in their life?
Uh-huh.
And the reason they have all those opportunities, actually, because they're in the midst of people, they have lots of opportunity to meet people.
Correct.
To meet people on top of people. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm going to this event next week. Why don't you come go? And you meet a whole other group of people. Correct. So I think it's great advice. And I want to kind of reiterate that you're not going to meet people sitting in your living room.
Nope.
you have to find a way to get out. And I think one of the best ways, at least in my adult life, that I've learned to meet people is go find that common denominator group. Right. I like I love pool. I love bowling. I love motivational speaking. I love talking about consciousness and book clubs and stuff like that. I participated in all of them, leads groups and sales organizations. But I go around like-minded people, and there are always friends among those groups. One of the things the Lord said in the book is that fellowship is good. We cannot be an island unto ourselves. We have to go out and get fed and feed each other and find laughter and joy in other people. Favor comes through people. It doesn't come out of the clouds. It doesn't come out of the mountain. It comes out of people. And so you meet somebody, and next thing you know, they can take you to the next level, even in your hobbies. Well, they can take you to the next level by introducing you to a plumber or a lawyer or any number of things. But if you are an island unto yourself, you are, I think, missing the opportunity to experience not only people, but potentially love.
And let me tell you in that, because a lot of people automatically assume when I go there, I'm looking for somebody just for me. I've met people that we just hit it off as friends. But she introduced me to her friend because of our common interests. I got somebody that I know will be perfect for you, okay? Because she took the time to know me through our common interests. She knew me and her might not mesh, but she might be in a situation where she respected the person she was with, which would be great.
Right.
And she pushed me off on the person that's single and looking for somebody, like you said, where to find them.
And I'm gonna tell you,
a lot of their friends find them for you.
They find them for you. And listen, I got a young lady at work, right? She a young lady. So I'm asking her, where your mom at? Is your mom and dad still together?
I ain't see that coming.
Listen,
I feel you.
I'm trying to overcome the disconnect.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Before you connect.
I don't like young women. I like grown women.
I
you got any aunties?
Yeah. And they be like, what's wrong with me? This is too young. They be like, I can do all.
Listen, we have chopped it up on the subject. I think we've done a great job. Unrealistic goals, bad timing. You got to get to know one another. Lust versus looks. Getting lost in each other and lack of communication. Unequally yoked. Getting to know you sexually before you get to know you mentally. Lack of discernment. Don't know the work to saying. Don't know how to meet people. We covered it, and we want to thank you, folks. This has been Bar Talk with Jay. My name is Craftmatic. This is your boy Smooth Jay, and we want to thank you again for being here with us. Just our opportunities to be leaders here in the community. We're always here every Thursday from 7 to 8, Facebook Live, and we're on every other major platform. Please like, share, subscribe. Never, ever forget that the reason we do this is because we love you, we appreciate you. And with that, we are out.
Ain't no last calls here.